Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Kimi Evans. I've got your first alert forecast here. High pressure starting to move on in, bumping up our temperatures a little bit, but not just that. We're also bringing in some gusty northwest winds. So let's take a look at your first alert forecast. We're talking about some gusty winds all week long. The skies, well, a few clouds out there. Not as sunny as we saw over the weekend, but still looking really nice. Mild temperatures, only about a 3 to 5 degree swing. These temperatures do drop as a cooler system starts to move on in. But even for the LA basin, we're talking about temperatures that may climb to about 90 degrees as we get to Saturday. So enjoy the 76 degrees today because it's going to be nice and comfortable. Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Kimi Evans. Take a look at how beautiful Malibu is already. So starting the day off with a lot of sunshine, a lot of those clouds have moved on out of the way. We are expecting, though, to see some pretty windy conditions with the wind advisory in effect, especially for the mountains and our desert areas. For Santa Monica, though, starting the day off at about 63 degrees as we get to your lunch hour. A great day to be outdoors for lunch. Look at that, 70 degrees with a lot of sunshine. The heat of the day by 4 p.m. coming in at 74 degrees, a picture perfect day here in Southern California. But I do have some more details about this wind advisory coming up shortly, but let's go ahead and take a look at traffic first. 10 freeway at Pepper Avenue. So I just spoke with CHP and it looks like all the lanes are blocked, but they do have tow trucks on the scene and they're hoping in the next 10 or 15 minutes they can get at least one lane open so you can get through there. The HOV lane there has been blocked as well. And let's also take a live look outside, see how your drive is doing this morning as you're traveling on the southbound 5. Although it's moving, remember I told you about that SIG alert? There it is. So the number 1, number 2 lanes blocked. Let's take a live look outside as well and see how things are looking right now on the northbound 110. That's the right side of your screen, all that red there. Southbound side also looking good, maybe a little bit of fog to get started this morning, and that's just south of Gage Avenue. I'll have more for you soon, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk. I'm Kimi Evans, and here's a look at your Hollywood buzz. Looks like it's going to be a great one. Well, traffic-wise, it's still looking okay, too. The 60, a little bit slower moving there, but we do have a couple of accidents to talk about, including a semi that's on fire. So stick around. I'll have that coming up shortly, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk. Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Kimi Evans. Let's take a look at your first alert forecast. We're talking about some gusty winds all week long. The skies, well, a few clouds out there. Not as sunny as we saw over the weekend, but still looking really nice. Mild temperatures, only about a 3 to 5 degree swing in our temperatures pretty much all week long. As we hit the weekend, we're talking about mid-80s for our inland communities. In terms of our winds right now, Victorville, you're looking at winds at about 20 miles an hour coming in from the west. West winds also for Lancaster, 28 miles an hour. Santa Ana, you're looking at southeast winds 7 miles an hour. Take a look at today's forecast for Riverside, topping out at 75 degrees. Nice and comfortable for us. Santa Ana, you're looking at 72 degrees, and that's by the heat of the day right around 3 p.m. Low pressure system just slowly moving on out of the way, and you can see right behind that we have a high pressure system that's going to start to move on in, but for right now, keeping it on the mild side, a little bit on the windy side as well. So just be mindful of the fact that we are going to start to see some pretty breezy conditions for a good part of the week. Hour by hour forecast for Riverside showing that we're at about 57 degrees right now, climbing by lunchtime to the low 70s, topping out in the mid to upper 70s for the heat of the day. Not too bad at all. It doesn't look like you're going to have to crank up that AC too much, at least not for the next couple of days. As we hit the weekend, though, that's a different story. We do have this wind advisory in effect through Thursday morning, so please be mindful of that. We're talking northwest and north winds, 25 to 40 miles an hour. We might even see these gusts 45 to 55 miles an hour, so use a lot of caution, especially if you're in a high-profile vehicle through the canyons and passes. Driving conditions can be a little bit dangerous, and also if you have some loose things just right outside of the house, you may want to tie them down or bring them in, and just remember it's not going to be the best hair day. If you're going to go get your hair did, just keep in mind it's going to start to fly around. I'll have more for you soon, but that's a look at your weather. Have a great day. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope it's a great start to your day. This is how we're starting off today. Some of that marine layer to get our day going, but by the time we hit the afternoon, we're looking at sunny and even warmer conditions than what we saw yesterday. As we get into tomorrow, offshore winds start to develop, and into the weekend, we're talking about some very warm conditions. This is what we do have right now in terms of our current conditions. 59 degrees for Ontario. San Bernardino, you're looking at 63 degrees. Santa Ana, 61, 57 for our friends in Pasadena, Long Beach. You're looking at 62 degrees, in LAX 61 degrees for you. So here's what's happening. We have a ridge of high pressure that's building, it's expanding, and take a look. By Friday 1 p.m., it is just right over us. Very hot conditions. We just might be seeing some 90-degree temperatures, maybe even some triple digits for the low desert. But that's not sticking around very long because we do have a cool system that's going to start to move on in. And as that passes into our area, into the early part of next week, that's when we'll start to drop these temperatures right back down. So for today, the IE looking at 78 degrees, but take a look by tomorrow, you're looking at the mid-80s, and into the 90s we go as we get to Friday, even the mid-90s by Saturday. So it looks like Saturday's the peak of the heat. So if you have plans for the weekend, make sure AC is going to be around and a lot of water as well. 92 for us today in the low desert, hitting those triple digits as we get to Saturday and Sunday. But as we get into the early part of next week, that's when we start to drop those temperatures right back down as things start to get cool, as that system starts to move on in for us. 76 degrees for the valleys today, into the 90s by Friday. And for the coast, 70 today. But look, great beach weather as we get to Saturday. Talking mid-80s, so I think everyone's going to be headed to the beach. Into the early part of next week again, these temperatures do drop as a cooler system starts to move on in. But even for the LA basin, we're talking about temperatures that may climb to about 90 degrees as we get to Saturday. So enjoy the 76 degrees today because it's going to be nice and comfortable. A lot more sunshine today than what we saw yesterday. Those clouds are moving on out of the way. And again, as we get to the early part of next week, those temperatures do drop right back on down into the mid-70s. I hope you have a wonderful day. Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Kimi Evans. I've got your first alert forecast here. We've got high pressure dominating the atmosphere and bringing in some gusty northwest winds for us. So expect things to be pretty windy over the next couple of days. Temperature-wise, Ontario, you're looking at 57 degrees, 55 right now for Riverside, Anaheim. How about 60 degrees for you? Oxnard coming in at 54, Long Beach, 58 degrees. And this is what we're looking at for the week. 80 degrees today for the LA Basin and OC, slightly cooler for tomorrow, but take a look at what happens by the time we get to Saturday. That ridge of high pressure really expanding, kind of sitting right over us by then. And gradually, as that moves on out of the way, those temperatures start to slide back down into the 70s into the early part of next week. Overall, though, a fantastic week without any rain for us here in Southern California. Have a lovely day.